Hi, I'm Dave Root. I'll be walking you through the aviation program at Lyons Township High School. At the end of the general program, we'll be breaking down the course that your child is enrolled in. A little bit about my education. I'm a Lyons Township graduate, graduated in 2003. While I was here, I took the single aviation class that was offered and decided I wanted to pursue it as a career. I attended the University of North Dakota, where I received my bachelor's degree in commercial aviation. Through some strange twists of fate that we'll get to in a moment, I ended up pursuing graduate degrees from Eastern Illinois and Concordia University, both in education. A little bit about my career in aviation. My first job in aviation was working at Chicagoland Skydiving Center in the summers during college. I then went back to North Dakota for the school years where I flight instructed. Once I received my flight instructor rating, I trained both private pilot and commercial pilot curriculum there. I also worked at Skydive Fargo on the weekends, and that led to an internship and eventual first officer position with Atlantic Southeast Airlines, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. A little bit about my hobbies so you can get to know me a bit. I played rugby in college. I still continue to play to this day, not as much as I'd like to, but I play for a city down in, or a team down in the city. I fly for fun, um, skydiving time to time. I enjoy hiking and camping. You can see a picture there in the Tetons. I also have my Coast Guard captain's license, so in the summer, I captain luxury yachts out on the lake. I also included a picture of my dog. I take him pretty much everywhere. His name is Stevie Ray. I also like to fly drones in my free time. So let's talk about the program. You see the year 1929 there. Aviation's been part of LT's roots for a very long time. And here's a picture out of the 1929 yearbook. You can see a group of students posing with their propeller there. There actually used to be an airport where the quarry is over in McCook, up into, I believe, the early 1950s. The program has evolved quite a bit since then. We have partnered up with Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University based out of Daytona Beach, Florida, to provide dual enrollment opportunities for our students to receive free college credit in certain courses of ours. We've also participated with the AOPA High School Initiative, which is kind of the basis for Aviation 1 and Aviation 2 coursework. The course offerings at LT are as follows. We have Aviation 1, which is launching the students into aviation, piquing their interest. Aviation 2 dives a little bit deeper. It explores aviation and aerospace topics. We offer a drones program, which is unmanned aircraft systems. In that course, the ultimate goal is for the students to get their FAA remote pilot license that will allow them to operate drones for compensation and hire so they can make some money. They actually get the license in that class. We also have the two college credit courses that are offered through Embry-Riddle, the first of which being Principles of Aeronautical Science. The students receive 3 free college credit hours for that course, and then Private Pilot Operations, which is 5 college credit hours. Both of those courses are free. Principles of Aeronautical Science is a semester-long course, and Private Pilot is a year-long course. Here's a little peek in our classroom at North Campus so you get an idea of what our simulator lab looks like. It changes the appearance from time to time, but we have 20 desktop simulation stations as well as a flight training device that you see there that the students can log in their logbook, and it counts towards flight training time. Here's zooming in on that flight training device. It's an Elite RC1 flight training device, so that students can log several hours there. In all of our flight courses, so that's Aviation 1, 2, Principles of Aeronautical Science, and Private Pilot Operations, the students have an opportunity to participate in introduction flights out at Illinois Aviation Academy on the DuPage Airport. Here's a group from a couple years ago. Our drones class is the only class that we don't take a trip out to the airport to go flying because that course is focused on flying the drones. Here's a group of students before their flight, a little bit nervous looking, but they were all smiles when they got back. So what our flights look like out at DuPage. We'll leave the DuPage Airport, which you can see up in this corner, and depending on air traffic control and weather, we'll adjust our courses as needed. But a normal flight would be something like from DuPage down to Lansing, and then Lansing out to Joliet, and then back to DuPage. We'll have 3 students and an instructor on board the aircraft, and each student will get a chance to sit up front of the airplane for the flight. Those flights are conducted in a Cessna 172 training aircraft. We also try to get our students involved in aviation outside of the classroom and outside of the building. One of the ways that we do this is by organizing internships for our students that are available to upperclassmen. We have internship programs set up at Illinois Aviation Academy at the DuPage Airport and with the Experimental Aircraft Association Chapter 461 at the Clow Airport in Bolingbrook. Every year we like to also participate in some competitions. One of them being the Illinois State University's Technology Day. It's a big engineering competition where over 200 teams from throughout the state compete against one another in different categories. The category I left off of this slide is the robotics competition because that's a whole separate group of our students. But the aviation students participate in the transportation technology section of that event. I'm also a strong believer and advocate for field trips, getting the students out there to see what it's like in the industry. Here's an example of one of our trips from a couple years ago. This is at United Airlines. American Airlines has also hosted us at O'Hare, but you can see this in front of the retired 747. They let our students get up in the cockpit. They had mechanics stationed around the aircraft. We've also been out to the Illinois National Guard base in Kankakee where they have all the helicopters. Here's a group of our students in front of a Black Hawk. Some of our students up in the control tower at O'Hare. The aviation students are also proud supporters of the Polar Plunge to benefit Special Olympics. I try to convince as many students as I can to come join me on this event every year, and we are the 7-time defending champion for being the school that has raised the most money in the state of Illinois. We've raised over $125,000 over the past 7 years. Another event that is with Special Olympics and our aviation students is the plane pull, where we do a little tug of war against a cargo plane. And unfortunately this year that's probably going to be on hold. It's usually held in September, so we'll see what happens there, and hopefully we can get a group out. In addition to the classroom and out of classroom activities, we do have an aviation club. This allows our students to expand their interests a little bit. This is a student guided club where I'm more of a facilitator and they come to me with ideas, but a lot of our students will fly drones, build drones, fly on our flight simulators. We also have a rocketry team that competes in the National Rocketry Challenge, which will be hopefully running this next year. The Drones Unmanned Aircraft Systems course is the newest addition to our aviation program here at LT. This course focuses on flight operations of unmanned aircraft systems, which are commonly referred to as drones. This course puts an emphasis on the safe planning and operation of a UAS in a professional environment. We're not flying these things for fun. We're training them to fly as professionals in this course. This class will use various DJI and Parrot drones to teach students safe flight procedures and operations. The primary training aircraft for this class is the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which we have several of for the students to fly. By the end of this course, students will be prepared to take the FAA's Part 107 certification exam. When they pass this exam, they will be issued their remote pilot certificate with a SUAS, which stands for Small UAS endorsement, which will allow them to fly a drone or any drone under 55 pounds for compensation or higher. So it's kind of neat that the students leave this class with something that can lead to employment. That brings my presentation to a conclusion. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, and or resources to share, please email me. We're always looking for parents who have maybe family members or friends in the industry. That's how we get these cool opportunities, these trips and stuff set up for the kids. It's all through word of mouth. So if you guys have anything that you think might benefit the program, please send me an email, dbrute@lths.net. And I really want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. Thanks.